Hey everybody, so today I want to give you 29 ways that you can attract more listings. That's right, 29 ways. I got a beautiful little handout here for you, so if you're interested in the PDF that you can follow along, please direct message me listings, and I'll send you the link for the downloadable PDF. Again, direct message me listings, and I'll get you the PDF. Best place to find me, Todd P. Conklin on Instagram. All right, so let's get after it. 29 ways. Listen, we all know right now, there is no more important time than right this second to be getting your unfair share of listings. We know it. And we've been told for years, you got a list to last. So let's get after it. Let's get focused. Let's not be distracted by all of the things that are going on in the world. And let's make sure that this is our absolute best year ever. Here's 29 ways that you can get more listings and do just that. Number one on my list is qualified buyers. Listen, if I'm a seller and I have had any thought of selling, what I really want is somebody to come to me with a buyer. That's what I really want. So why not find your buyers the exact perfect home, right? You want to be the absolute best real estate agent. You want to bring the absolute best value. Go out and do a better job than anybody else. Anybody can go on to the MLS and just simply find the 3-bedroom, 2-bath in that school district. The real professional will go into those neighborhoods and will write letters, handwritten addresses, a beautiful little stamp, and send it out to the neighborhood saying, I have a buyer that is specifically interested in your neighborhood. Have you had any thoughts of selling? Please reach out to me at 123-456-78910. I guess that's too many numbers. And let me get you the value of your home. So number one on my list. Number two is text or voicemail. Listen, this is a follow-up strategy to the I have a buyer letter, right? This is a follow-up strategy to I have a buyer letter. So send out text messages saying, hey, I'm just following up on the letter that I sent you last week. If you've had any thoughts of selling, I may have a buyer for you. Please call me, right? And same thing with voicemail. Now listen, I know there's all kinds of talk about different ways of leaving voicemails. If you've got the time, great. Make the phone calls, have the conversations. I love slide dial. I love slide dial because what it does is it gives me the ability to drop in a voicemail message into the person's voicemail on their phone without having to have the conversation. It's not a bother to them. It frees them up to be able to determine whether or not they want to respond. And of course I can say, hey, if you're interested, text me, email me, or of course call me. So that's number two. Number three is door knocking. I get it, right? Masks and COVID, and listen, here's the deal, okay? If you're gonna go door knocking, it's not about door hangers, right? This is about making something special, okay? So number one on my list, as you go on door knocking, make sure you've got a mask, right? Make sure that you are adhering to separation, right? Take a step back from the door. So if somebody answers the door, great. If they don't answer the door, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your business card. I want you to put a sticky note right on it. And I want you to put on there, handwritten, call me about your home, right? Call me about your home. Very powerful message. All right, number four, agent-to-agent referrals. During this time, there seems to be a lot of folks leaving the urban markets to come to more rural or resort. It's about quality of life, right? Like, let's face it, folks. COVID was hard on everybody, but if you lived in an urban place where you couldn't get outside, it was especially challenging. And then you add to it the rioting and the looting, and boy, I tell you what, if I were living in an urban market, I'd want to get out too. So whether you're an agent in an urban market currently, or whether you're an agent in an area that people would want to be coming to, you've got to be connecting with other agents in the other markets and creating your network of referral agents. All right, so reach out. Now listen, you've got to build the list before you serve the list, as my friend Sharon would say. So building the list is getting the email addresses and phone numbers so that you can email and text those agents. an introduction, and then ask, okay? Make sure you ask them, hey, Sally, you're in a market where we share a lot of clients. I'd love you to be on my email list so that we can maintain connections and we can send referrals back and forth. Would that be okay with you, right? Make sure you ask. Don't just start spamming people. All right, that's number 4 on the 29 ways. All right, number 5, use Instagram stories. Listen, excuse me, it's about the polls. It's about the questions that you ask on Instagram stories. It's not just the Instagram stories. You've got to ask the right questions. So, especially given what's happened with COVID and our stay-at-home orders, didn't we all experience our homes differently? Like, I don't know about you, but like there were spaces in our homes, in our home that was like, God, I'm so glad we have that. And then there were some things that I was like, oh gosh, I really wish I would have thought about that. They changed the way we thought about our homes. So what a great question, right? Is your home your dream home, right? After COVID, is there a room that you wish you had? Is there a room you wish you didn't have? Anybody that answers those questions is making an indication as to what they might change in the future, right? So I love that one. And then, of course, have you had any thoughts of selling this year? That's a good one. This year or next year, that's another good one. Life change, right? Regardless of what's going on in the world, I know we have kids, our kids go away to college, we have changes of life, right? Different phases of our life and different seasons. And so as a result, our needs for a home change. We know right now, despite everything that's going on, there is an incredible buyer pool that's looking for homes. So identifying that. Now, here's a trick. When somebody answers, you better be Johnny on the spot. Make sure that you are responding quickly. So that's number 5. Number 6, we heard Jason Pantana say webinars were the new open houses, right? Open houses of the past have now morphed into webinars. And I don't care what we're talking about, right? As far as topics, we're talking about upgrading and downgrading and downsizing and first-time home buyers and investment. And hey, what about this? Are you interested in buying a home in a resort market? Well, maybe a title would be, here are 5 absolute must-dos if you're going to buy a home in a resort market. So all kinds of different titles that you can be doing there. There is a process. If you're interested in that process, why don't you direct message me webinars, and I'm happy to send you the link to our video, or you can always go to cbdistinctive.com/webinars and you can see our expert panel on webinars that we did there. So that's a really big one there. All right. Number 7, past clients targeting. Folks, what's happened in the market for the last 7, 8, 9 years? It's gone up. The value of homes has appreciated each and every year. Now, it used to be that people sold their homes about every 6 years on average, but that's changed, and we know that from the numbers. We see that from Keeping Current Matters, and Steve has kind of walked us through all of that. But the bottom line is people are staying in their homes somewhere between 9 and 10 years. Now, there's a bunch of different reasons why we think that that's happened. One of those is just a misunderstanding about the equity and what is available to them. So what an incredible opportunity for you to connect with the past clients and your sphere of influence, just sending them a quick CMA, right? And so here's the special trick, right? You have to do a special CMA, you have to print it out, you have to send it to them, you have to hand address the envelope, and you want to put a sticky on there saying you've done really well with the purchase of your home. Have you had any thoughts of selling? That's the trick, okay? If you do 5, 6, 7, 10 of those each day, real small numbers, right? Just real simple, easy, you're going to touch all of the people that you've had as past clients very, very quickly. That's an incredible way to get listings. So number 7, target your past clients. Number 8, let them tell your story. Listen, Keenan Coit is doing Good News Grand Junction. Kelsey Renovere is doing The Project. Delphine is doing Distinctive Delphine. Both Adam Greenberg and Robert Yazbek are doing industry leader interviews. They're all incredible ways for you to have somebody else tell your story. What you're doing is providing answers via exposing somebody else, which benefits them, gives you credibility, and it also helps you to interact with their sphere of influence and their connections. So, have them tell your story. Number 9, attract sellers from Google. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a big myth buster right here, right? All we hear about is reviews. Everybody wants you to, I don't care if we're talking about Zillow or HomeLight or whatever, fill in the blank. I'm going to give you this one top secret. Are you ready? It's going to blow your mind. There's one place that everybody should have reviews, and it's not any of the ones that I've listed. It's Google. Listen, folks, of course you're going to have reviews on the #1 searched website in the galaxy. It's Google. You have to create My Business page within Google and then make it simple. Simply send out an email, send a text message to all of your past clients and your sphere of influence with just a simple ask. I have appreciated you choosing me and referring me so much. Could I ask one quick favor of you? Could you take a moment and give me a review? That's it, folks. All right, so there's 10 of my 29. I'll be right back with you for the remaining.